Hello everyone, welcome to this Tableau tutorial. Today we're going to be going through the Intelligence Center, focusing on the overall business tab. So, starting up here in the top left, we have 12-month revenue by operating company. So you can see for each operating company how much revenue they've had in the last 365 days. I tend to update my data about once a week, so this should be true as of at least a week or maybe 2 weeks ago. Below that, we have top growth accounts, and again, hovering over this will give you a little more information. This is comparing the last 12 months over the 12 months before that. Down at the bottom, we have special services. This is this overall revenue, but only in places where the business was either guaranteed or was traveling to one of the champs, so Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico, etc. You can see hovering over it how much the revenue has changed this 12 months compared to the previous 12, and the overall revenue broken out by blanket and CSP business. Moving to the center column, bids won in the last 90 days. So what this is actually showing you is how many bids who had a business start date in the last 90 days based on what you all entered into the PDC tool. So I take everything that comes through the PDC, I say, what was the business start date that they put on this business? And this is showing you how many different new commitments you had starting a month at a time over the last 90 days. So the top number here, the big number, is 90, and then hovering over it will give you the last 6 months, so how that kind of breaks out. Right now it is early in March, so I'm not surprised to see that the March business commitments are only 1. CISNY price change. This is looking at pure price change, which is a calculation the pricing department does. That's a little bit complicated, but it's going to show you how much the overall price, taking many things into consideration, went up or down because of the CISNYs that occurred. And this is the average pure price change over the last 12 months. Beneath that, we have top accounts not meeting commitment. This is also from the PDC tool. So what this is showing you is for this particular negotiation, hovering over it gives you some more details, and on this screen I only included things that had a business start date in the last quarter, so the stuff that's pretty old is not going to show up on here as easily. It'll show you the business start date. This one in particular was on February 5th. How many shipments we projected to get in a month, it was 333. After 60 days from the business start date, how many shipments had we gotten? This was 202. What's the difference between those? 131. Sometimes there's a rounding error, so it may be off by 1. Same thing as you sort of scroll down here and see how things are comparing. And these are ones where we lost, where at least one shipment below what we projected it would be 30 days out. CISNYs, these are CISNYs that are coming up in the next 90 days. How many negotiations to expect starting from today? If you added together up here, this new business commitment attainment field says if you took all of the shipments that we got, compared them to how many shipments we were doing beforehand with these clients, how many new shipments have we actually gotten? And that comes out to about 2,800. Below that, we have accounts receivable information. So these fields here I receive from the accounts receivable department. I am working on getting them aligned more closely with the names that you'd expect to see if you were looking in Progress tool, but currently this is how we have that broken out. And it's going to show you the total amount of AR that is at least 30 days overdue or more. Finally, over here on the right, we get into the partnership tab. This is their overall rank, which looks at 6 or 7 or 8 different ranking metrics and tells you how they're doing compared to everyone else once we add all of those ranks together. This rank should be out of approximately 200 if there aren't any filters applied to it. If you were to set it to only freight, for instance, it's going to compare it to only 3PLs that do business with freight, so that maximum number of 200 might change, specifically if you're looking at a smaller operating company. I'm working on the ability to also filter this by blanket or CSP to see that, but if we only have 20 or 30 people who do blanket business with us and their rank is 10, that's not 10 out of 200 anymore, that's going to be 10 out of that 20 or 30. Top churning accounts, this again is this 12 months compared to the prior 12 months. Where have we lost the most revenue? And the same thing for profit. Where have we lost the most profit? I have this field here is for my use. Currently, I haven't got it to work for anyone else, but it lets me decide who the intelligence filter is built for. And then up here at the top, you can decide to filter things on the screen by blanket or CSP business. Hope that was helpful. As always, reach out if you have any questions.